Okay, let's wait till we get some people in here. Do what? There's so many more options on a laptop that I am not accustomed to because I usually do this off my phone. Oh, a little better angle lighting in here kind of sucks, but it'll be all right because y'all are here for me, not for the lighting. Am I right? Let's see if this helps any. No, it is pitch black outside. My son's Star Wars book out of the way. Try to get a little better angle. I'm not a professional. Nothing's going to help out that horrible kitchen lighting. Oh, well. Y'all can see him bouncing. Oh, and we'll get some people matriculating in here if you guys want to shoot some questions. Got a rare night to myself. Oh, y'all be nice. No buffet for me tonight. See if this populates. There's some people coming in here. This isn't a formal Q&A, but of course, feel free to ask questions. God, that light is annoying. Is that annoying y'all? It's annoying me too, but I don't think I have a solution, and this is the best place. Maybe if I can get my big head in the way, that might be better. I don't know. I'm going to move around a lot, so I apologize in advance. I know what video that's from. Trust me. Me and Alex go way back. Way back. That was back when me and him weren't friends like we are now. So trust me, I know where that's from. Always red. Always red. And I'm going to be classy and not drink it straight out of the bottle. I'm going to put it in an Oreo mug. No, I did not hit the gym today. Today was a rest day. I didn't even do cardio today. It's rare that I don't do both. I guess I need to be a better YouTuber so y'all can see it. But yeah, rest. Tomorrow, like Saturdays and Sundays are my really big training days. So like tomorrow I'll bust my ass and do cardio. Lower back still is not 100%. So weights will be much lighter tomorrow with my cross fat. I won't jump at all. God, that light is pissing me off. But yeah, thoughts on I can't keep up with the fake Merc character study. It's too much for me. Mug wine is the best wine. I agree. Did you hit the gym today? Did any of y'all hit the gym today? I did not. Today, evening barrel gut. Fridays I have my big meal. Like I fast, and I have a really big meal on Friday. So I had a big, like a 17-ounce ribeye, 2 whole sweet potatoes, a big thing of pineapple, and a bunch of watermelon. I may have some more watermelon before I go to bed because I'll probably get the munchies drinking on this wine, which watermelon is good to keep around for that, in my opinion, because it'll, especially when you're drinking, it hydrates you. It's got electrolytes and shit, and I put salt on it, so double whammy there. And it's really extremely low in calories while still satisfying a sweet tooth. And if you want, you can eat enough to get really full and satiated with very little caloric damage. Watermelon, like, it's just a great food all around, but especially if you're cutting or if you're you got the munchies after you drink or smoke or something like that. It's a great choice if you're watching your calories. Me and Blaha are not buddies. I can promise you that. We have not been buddies for a long time. There was a point where we were kind of chummy. You've been around long enough, I think, that you know when that stopped. Maybe. I'm pretty sure you've been commenting on my channel for long enough. The only thing I do directly for my traps, I do face pulls, and I know people say that's more of a rear delt thing, but when I do my face pulls, like I really concentrate on squeezing my traps together when I'm coming with it, and I focus on that squeeze with my traps, and I get a lot out of it. That is the only trap remotely close to isolation that I do. Of course, I do deadlifts, I do farmers carries. Overhead presses will hit your traps. Squats to some extent, front squats. A lot of these compound movements are hitting your traps in some capacity. Probably the farmer's carries are the closest to being direct, I guess. And of course the deadlifts. But I've never done a shrug in my life. Like I don't do shrugs at all. I don't. I don't isolate my traps other than those face pulls. They just a lot of heavy compound movements, and that's typical with a lot of my body parts. I isolate my triceps because it helps a lot with bench. But mostly I'm big compound movements, and then kind of the smaller accessory movements. I do them, but a lot of times I've not pushed them nearly as hard. More, it's not time for more wine yet. I still got, of course. I don't always reply to every single comment, but I know who's been commenting on my channel. And following what you said about working out your weak side more than your strong side, and it sort of helped. Lancel Lannister. Oh, I guess that's from Game of Thrones. I'm not a super Game of Thrones nerd. I watched all the series. It's probably one of my favorite TV series, but I didn't catch that one. Oh, you're welcome, Barrel Gut. Yeah, I hopefully my left bicep, I'm seeing my right bicep on the screen, catches up with my right. The lighting's weird right now. They look better than they do normally because the light's helping me out. But yeah, I've been trying to catch up my left bicep to my right bicep. I've actually been trying to hit biceps a little bit, but don't tell nobody because I've always been against that. Yes, I am streaming from your laptop. And I apologize for this light above my head. This is the only place I've got in my house. I'm not a professional YouTuber. Y'all are here for me, not for the production value, I assume. You got to ask the other Noble Natties if I'm a member of the Noble Natties. That's for them to say. I don't think none of the actual Noble Natties really take that seriously anyway. It's kind of a joke. Who said it? That one dude. He talks a lot, but he doesn't really have great lifts or anything. Revival Fitness. He said it. I mogged him one time too. Who did I mog? Him and Natural Hypertrophy in the same video, I think. But yeah. No Gymshark sponsorships. Maybe I need to reach out to my man Matt Does Fitness. Me and him are the homie from way back. I think he is the person subscribed to me with the most subscribers. Phone a friend. I really don't care. I've got a decent job in real life. I own a couple rental properties too, so I don't get too serious about sponsorships and stuff. I'm coaching. It is nice to make the extra income coaching and directly helping somebody, providing that service. That's more in line with me. Not saying I wouldn't take a sponsorship, because I would if it was somebody that wasn't way outside of my ideals. For it to be somebody outside of my ideals and me take a sponsorship, like it'd have to be big money. Trust me, I'd sell out. Everybody has a price. So if you ever caught old Uncle Freak selling out for real, something that I don't believe in, a motherfucker got paid. $800 credit score is real nice. Never got that 800 squat or deadlift, but the 800 credit score has probably done a lot more work for me than either of those ever would have. I recorded. Go ahead. I've said it. I think I might have made a video on it of what it would take for me to sell out. And if I recall, I'm pretty sure I said that if I put in the same amount of effort to YouTube that I put in at the moment, and I got paid like matched my yearly salary, what I get at my day job, then I would be on here talking bullshit and selling out. That's what it would take. Like a low effort, the same effort I put into YouTube now, which is not a lot. Back then it was even less. But this amount of effort into my YouTube and to make my salary, I would be on here preaching like Coach Greg and singing his praises. I'm not answering that, Arcade. Y'all get wild. What's up, Moon Merchant? Yes, I just did strain my QL. I've been reverse hypers, fucking back hyper extensions without weight, doing some stretching, hot water, icy hot. Honestly, like a little bit of alcohol when you've got a muscle strain helps a lot with relieving it, short of, legally acquiring some muscle relaxers. But this time it really wasn't that bad, so I didn't feel it necessary to legally acquire muscle relaxers. Yeah, Tesla, like there's some people who wouldn't sell out, and they are few and far between in my opinion. They exist, but 99% of the people who say they don't have a price are lying. I agree with you. But there's some rare ones out there. Yeah, and even like I go to a specialty gym, like we are a powerlifting strongman focused gym, and still most people use the reverse hyper as just a place to set their bags. There's like 2 or 3 of us that actually use it. Moon Merchant, I can't guarantee you will stay relatively injury free at any rep range. Because even in the 10 to 15 rep range, if you're approaching failure, sometimes shit gets wonky and goes haywire. So it's probably lesser of a risk than somebody pushing 1 rep maxes. But I'm not going to make any assumptions there. It's you do it long enough and you get to a point where you have to push hard enough to get the next little bit of gains. And, at some point you're probably going to push a little too hard. Most people will. Unless you just get to like a point of slightly above mediocrity and you're happy just maintaining that slightly above mediocrity point. There's good chances you're already risk of injury is still pretty low. Don't get me wrong on a day-to-day basis, but that would lower it a lot. My favorite video game ever is Bubble Bobble for NES. And I mostly, when I do play games, I honestly haven't played a video game in probably like a month or 2. It comes and goes in spurts. Like I'll come play, I'll get fixated on the game for a couple weeks, play it for a little bit, then drop it and play something else. I was playing Gran Turismo 3 for a little while a couple months ago. Then I got kind of bored on that. And I really stopped playing video games after that for a little bit. So I don't know, the next thing that catches my mind. I've got hooked up right now in my room. I've got a Super Nintendo, a Super Nintendo Mini, a Nintendo, a PlayStation 2, a Nintendo 64, and a PlayStation 4. Those are all what I have hooked up at the moment. And I've got a Game Boy and a Game Boy Advance, I've got 4 Game Boy colors, and I got the link cables, and I've got like 6 copies of Pokemon. I got 2 yellows, 2 reds, 2 blues, link cables so I can trade amongst myself, and I've got a Game Boy Advance. So yeah, I've got tons of Nintendo 64 games, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, etc. PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 is the move right now, honestly. The library of PlayStation 2 games is immense, and they are still relatively cheap. I mean, Moon Merchant, avoiding failure is always going to be the strategy for staying injury free, like to reduce your risk of injury to almost zero. But avoiding failure is also uh, a way to not push yourself to the next level. Big body. I didn't get to stick around for most of it. What I saw of the Dr. Mike and Chris Jones debate was kind of weird. They weren't even really talking about the hip thrust when I was in there. They were talking about clickbait and shit. No, I don't go hunting. I've got a few pew pews. They've just been shot recreationally for fun. I'm not gonna say pullovers are worth switching in place of dips or close grip bench press, but they're a fine addition to them. Had recovery squats and felt a strain. I only had 3 singles on deads today. I thought it'd be fine, but last set felt a pop, but no pain. Wait till tomorrow morning, see how you feel. And the best thing you can do is stay in motion as much as possible and work ranges of motion that do not cause pain or irritation. I am not a doctor. If pain persists or it feels like a bad injury, go see a doctor. I don't think fitness YouTube will ever be dead. I mean, it's, the thing now with YouTube, and trends come and go. The fitness people who made it super duper big seem to have gone more of like the lifestyle vlogging type thing. But you look at somebody like Mike Israel, he's gained a bunch of subs in the last little bit, and while he does go off topic sometimes, it's mostly fitness. But he's done really good work in the clickbait thumbnails and stuff. But yeah, I don't think it's dead. Were you meaner? I was meaner when I was younger. I don't think it has as much to do with the high body fat as me being not as old and not as wise. Not just a mug, an Oreo mug. Yeah, PS2 is fucking amazing, man. It's fantastic. Like I got like ESPN 2K5 for $1.99. Best football game that's ever been made, in my opinion. It's still like to this day has so much depth in the franchise mode. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Loki, it really sucks when you get hurt starting a new program. Just play it by ear. Behind the neck press, I think if you have the shoulder mobility for it, it is a great movement. Or my lifts have gone down since I lost all the weight. But I did, when I competed in this meet, I definitely improved temporarily on my lifts from where they kind of bottomed out at. And I ended up benching 5 more kilos from one meet to another. And I had room to spare. Like if I was allowed another attempt, I'm sure I would have been able to do more, but circumstances dictated what attempt I took. But yeah, I definitely got stronger from one meet to the other in the 220-pound weight class. Even though one of the first meet I did, I just did bench only. But I definitely improved my squat and my deadlift in that time as well. I do what I like to do right now. What I'm really on is both front and side delt raises, but not for reps, like picking a weight relatively light and then, just doing your raise and then just holding it for time. It's been amazing for me. And I do it more of a rehab thing or prehab type movement than necessarily growth, but I'm sure it is definitely helping with the hypertrophy. I only have dumbbells that go up to 55 per dumbbell. Can I build my legs with minimal equipment? Yeah, you're just gonna have to get creative, man. You're gonna have to find ways to make the lifts hard. You might have to look into doing some like really high rep stuff and really shortening your rest and doing some tempos and things like that. But where there's a will, there's a way. What's up, Chrissy Poo? Vijay Ho? Crack open a 4 Loco for me, man. I'm not answering that, Arcane, because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Newbie who's having trouble reaching depth on squat. Squat to depth. I like to warm up with stripper squats, man. Like hold on to a pole, hold on to a rack. Hold on, I think I just gotta notification. But yeah, hold on to a pole, hold on to a rack, and let you get all the way down to depth. And you can really feel where it's at. And I'll do that and I'll hold it for 30 seconds and I'll gradually widen my stance and really hold myself down there and feel that depth. That helps a lot getting started. There's always box squats, man, like gradually working to a lower box. I know that's bro and some people don't like it, but that is a super simple and easy solution to hitting depth on squats. And not necessarily doing a box squat per se, but having the box there as a point of reference and just squatting down and tapping it and coming back up. Also, Zach Tellender has a great video on his 5-minute squat warm up. I send that to my clients regularly. That's something worth looking at too. So many doctors say overhead pressing is bad because the shoulders aren't supposed to hold that heavy weights overhead. How true is this? I don't know. Does your doctor's shoulders look like that? Tell them to fuck off. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. This is not medical advice. We'll do it right this time. So you guys. Not trying to get wasted, so we're just little baby sips. Yeah, doctors haven't liked lifting weights for a long time. Find a doctor that lifts. I don't know. I don't know why they're not big fans of it. But the only thing that really ever messed my shoulder up was cleaning tanning beds. Owning the tanning salon was not a fun time. I think volume for getting big is great. I would also throw in some heavier stuff with lower volume along the way, though. There's just a certain thickness that seems to come with moving heavy weights. And I've seen many a bodybuilder throw those in there to help with that. So I think volume is the key driver, of course, still, but one shouldn't be afraid to buckle down and get heavy from time to time. I was surprised by your Spotify statistics and Cardi B as a second. If you're surprised I listen to Cardi B, you haven't known me for a long time. If Chris is still in here, he can attest to my fandom of Cardi B. I'm definitely not her number one fan. I actually have a friend who Cardi B was her number one. So there's other people out there who listen to Cardi B more than me, for sure. But I wash paper plates and stuff, cardboard styrofoam bowls. I guess that's what the meme goes. I've always liked. No, I am going to skip ads. Try to put ads in there on my live stream. I've always liked aggressive sounding females over like hard beats. So like Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, Gangsta Boo, Mia X, etc. I just the sound. It's not even like I don't think Cardi B's a great rapper by any means. She's not the worst either, but just her aggressive voice over really hard beats that does something for me. Do the Cardi style work. I mean, she's got a song called Press. I mean, who can go wrong with that, right? Yeah, the tanning salon, man, like I wanted it to be a lot less hands-on for me personally. My wife enjoyed working there, and that's why I bought it. I discussed with her, and she really liked it. She liked running the place. She's really good with people and things of that nature. But when it would get busy, and it's hard to find good help, and of course, a tanning salon in East Tennessee, we're paying minimum wage. It is what it is. And then as a perk, we would offer free tanning to our employees, and we would let them buy products at cost to try to entice them, to stick around. But finding help was hard. So a lot of times, especially during the busy season, like I would have to leave work on my lunch break and go to the salon and clean beds for 2 hours and then come back to work. And then when I got off work, go back to the salon, clean beds for another couple hours. And, our son would have to spend time at the salon with us. And it ended up, it wasn't worth the money. It was making money, but it not enough to justify the time I was spending there, the time my wife was working there. And, I was paying her a set salary, and, her hourly pay was trash. So it just ended up being a much better move to sell out. Uh, Tesla country is probably my least favorite genre. There might be like 3 or 4 country songs that I like. That's about it. Is Konevsky bigger than me? I don't know. He might weigh more than me right now. He probably still doesn't bench as much as me. See you, man. Have a nice evening. That's funny though. I get the assumption a lot of times that people would imagine I would like country or metal because I'm a white dude in the South. So that's kind of the stereotype. But I grew up listening to rap and R&B. That's what I prefer. I like Eurobeat. I like 80s pop music, like one hit wonders and shit. I like a lot of that. I'll listen to the fucking Spice Girls. Like they've got a couple songs I like. I like I do like some girly music, I guess. Again, the female vocals sound better to me. Like when what's her name? Miley Cyrus, like when she covers other songs, I almost always think that her covers are better than the originals. When Lady Gaga sung with Metallica, again, I thought that her singing was made the songs way better than the OG Metallica songs. So I'm a sucker for female vocals, I guess. No, why would I debate vegan gains? There's nothing for me to get out of that. Plus, I really I don't have a problem with veganism. I don't see the big deal anyway. I've been known to eat some tofu and tempeh myself. I certainly don't think veganism is optimal, but I also don't think that it's going to be something that automatically makes you get less gains either by going vegan. Yeah, Hall and Oates are fucking legit. Metal rock, 80s, 90s pop. Yeah, so I can get down with the 80s and 90s pop. I like old school rap too. Close grip bench prep and close grip bench press and dips take care of triceps enough. Or I would still do some isolations, man. Just throw some push downs in there. Nothing wrong with that. Your triceps can take a lot of volume. No, never doing a bodybuilding or physique show. That I can assure you. Maybe would do a CrossFit event. Maybe would do a strongman event. Of course, powerlifting. Maybe would do weightlifting. That would be kind of hard for me to learn, but all of those are possibilities. Bodybuilding or physique is not. Have no desire. Yes, I kind of throw gospel in with country, I guess, as least favorites. I'm not religious, so gospel really doesn't do nothing for me. Polka, I don't even know enough about polka to have an opinion. No, I haven't been playing basketball as of late. I think now I'm at the point where, I've always said I had more hours logged playing basketball than I did lifting weights. I think it's probably getting close now, but fuck, I played a lot of basketball when I was a kid and a teenager. I still think I probably got more hours on the court than I do in the gym. We used to play basketball. Like we'd go out on a Saturday and play from like 9 in the morning till 9 at night in the summertime. I should probably get to hooping this springtime or summertime. Been a while. Take my little boy out there and shoot some hoops, snatch his ankles. And got to say, your bulking tips have been big for me. Gaining a lot of weight, in huge part. Oh man, I appreciate it. Like Bulking's the one thing I know a lot about because I can do that shit in my sleep. I don't I don't have to try to bulk. It's taken a lot of effort for me to keep the weight off, to be honest. I just, man, I love eating. I love eating. Y'all can fucking clip that. My appetite is ridiculous. It it's not human. Like, I shouldn't be able to eat as much as I eat, as frequently as I want to eat, and as much quantities. If like, even when I was 310 pounds, I still wasn't eating as much as I wanted to eat while training, while doing cardio. If I would have ate whenever I felt hungry or whenever I wanted to eat, I would be easily 400 plus. Like, it would not be hard to consume the food. I didn't feel good. I could maintain around 300, and even that was a little much. I realistically like to be around 270, 280 maintenance when I was bigger and bulking the meats. But 310 was like the threshold where I started feeling really fucking bad. And if I held that for more than a month or two, I would inevitably get sick. But as far as just being able to put away enough food, like, it wouldn't be an issue for me to be 400 plus. I'm not Athlete X. I do not breathe out before I squat. But I get what you were saying. Man, I wish I could tell you how to kick the snack craving. It's still there. It's discipline. It's discipline. And when you do snack, like, you've got to make better choices. Like I said, watermelon. Watermelon is so clutch. Like, it is, a lot of people fill up on vegetables and things like that. But vegetables, they don't kick that sweet tooth itch. Watermelon does. It's very, very, very low calorie. It's filling. It's hydrating, and it tastes delicious. It really does get that sweet tooth. And I hear now, I know it's been popular on the internet, but I actually have a couple people in real life too that I've talked to at, like, my son's jujitsu class, that have gotten the Ninja Creamy, and they say, like, legit, you can make your protein shakes like it's like ice cream. I can't vouch for that myself because I don't have one and I haven't tried it personally. But if you can get a pint of ice cream for 400 calories and, like 50, 60, 70 grams of protein, and that, instead of a pint of Ben and Jerry's, it's going to be 1,200 calories. I feel like a lot of people, that's going to be a good strategy, and it's up to people. You've got to find your own thing. Fasting has always been good for me. It's something that I prefer to fast because, I can stay busy during the day at work and not eat, and it doesn't bother me too bad. Of course, I drink some coffee. Caffeine helps a ton. And then know that, like, at night, I can eat a giant 2 to 3,000 calorie meal all at once, and I will at least feel satiated for a little bit. Whereas if I spread those 3,000 calories out throughout the day, I'm still going to feel hungry all day, like as if I didn't eat at all. But I'm going to have those calories going in, and it may be more optimal to do it that way. But without adherence, optimal doesn't matter. So doing things like OMAD and intermittent fasting have helped me a ton. But again, it's finding substitutions is huge. And like I said, watermelon, I will go back to that over again. Frozen fruits, like frozen berries, are great too. If you get, like, at the grocery store, they've got big bags of frozen berries. And eating them frozen forces you to eat it a little bit slower. And again, very, very little caloric impact with berries. So that's another strategy I like as well. Half a cup to a cup of Fiber One cereal. I mean, that is a good way to get in fiber, but I can't have, like, fiber cereals around because it's something I'll eat the whole fucking box of. Because cereal is one of those foods that I go ham on, and yeah, I would eat a whole fucking box, and eating a whole box of fiber cereal doesn't end good. No, like, I've ate a whole family box of Raisin Bran before, and I assure you, the results were not great. Yeah, man, it does. It's discipline, though. Would I ever do a YouTube boxing match if the money was right? Yeah, coffee and fasting is fucking great, man. It's a strategy that works for a lot of people, and I'm not surprised. Caffeine's a pretty good appetite suppressant. Um, and again, it'll have you focused on whatever the task at hand is. So that is a good way. Chess boxing against Phil, Jesus Christ. Would I sell out and become a chess streamer on Twitch if it paid more than your job? How many hours a day would I have to stream? I guess would be what the question is. If I had to work the same amount of hours I do at my job, then no. Fuck that. I'd rather just do my job. Yeah, no. That's definitely no. All right, I'm gonna go a few more minutes. The second mug of wine is almost done. I'm gonna get off here. If y'all got any questions, shoot them my way. Not a fan of Jägermeister. I've drank my fair share of Jaeger bombs. Like I can do it with Red Bull, but I don't like straight Jaeger. It tastes like black licorice. Yeah, my head is shiny in the light, isn't it? This light's been fucking annoying me the whole time too. I'm glad y'all have stuck around. I would have been tempted to leave. Give y'all like 2 more minutes if y'all want to get any questions in. What stable would you have joined in WCW? The Horsemen, the Wolf Pack, the American Males? Oh man, that's a good one, Johnny. Probably the Wolf Pack, I guess. I was always a big Sting mark, so I guess I would have to go with the Wolf Pack. Jaeger with water and ice. See, I don't like Red Bull either, and I don't like Jägermeister, but put them together and they're not that bad. I'm sure there's YouTubers out there that have stalkers. It wouldn't surprise me. I've had people recognize me at the grocery store, and by people I mean one person. But it's happened, and I have a very, very small channel. Who is in my boy stable for wrestling? So if I were to create a stable, I would go with Sting. I just said that. Sting, Vader, and WCW Japan Vader, not WWE Vader. Dean Malenko, again WCW version. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and Sensational Sherry would be the manager. That's my stable. Vader's my favorite big man all time in wrestling. He was just like, he was the perfect monster heel in my opinion. I hate what WWF / WWE did to him just because Shawn Michaels didn't like him. He should have got a better push in WWF. He should have held the belt there. Yeah, Sherry was a fucking fantastic manager. She was one of the best. She's so underrated. She should be talked about, as the top of the top, in my opinion. Favorite heel in WWE? Probably when The Rock was heel. Like he was just like in the Attitude Era. He was on another level on the microphone with his promos. So I would say The Rock in the Attitude Era. Now the acting talent of Sid, who is twice the man you are and has half the brain that you do. That Sid. I did like Sid back in the day though. He was just like a big, fucking muscle bound, imposing physique. He was a good monster heel. I liked him. I think he's like not to the level of Scott Steiner in his Big Papa Pump days, of course. But he was one of those that his promos were so ridiculous and bad and outlandish that they were good and entertaining. Like I said, in the same vein as Big Papa Pump, but not nearly to the same level. Attitude Era was great, but I was a WCW mark. I grew up in the South. So like during the Monday Night Wars, I was definitely Team WCW. But I can't deny the Attitude Era. It was fucking fantastic. Honestly, Rick Buggs getting cut surprised me of all the cuts, which he said there was some politics involved, and that wouldn't surprise me because he was getting over. And, they do cuts every year, budget and stuff, but he seemed to surprise me. And I don't follow wrestling nearly as closely as I used to. But even like What Culture Wrestling, which is one of the few wrestling channels I still follow, and some of the other like wrestling channels on YouTube, they were all surprised as well. They were like, this is the one out of all of them that doesn't make sense. It is weird that he got cut. So I kind of wonder what sort of shenanigans were going on. If you guys don't know, like professional wrestling, politics in the back have always been a huge thing. So when he said that, I tend to believe him. A lot of people, when something doesn't go their way, they'll tend to make excuses, but I think he's probably not making an excuse. He's over, but not the guy that. Yeah, I don't know, man. It just seemed weird. Like he was, pre-injury, he was really getting pushed with Nakamura. But even after he came back, like he was still getting a pretty decent push, and he was definitely over with the crowd, and he was getting himself over, and maybe that's what it was. I know Vince McMahon used to have a big problem with people getting themselves over when he couldn't make them get over, but they got themselves over. Vince McMahon did not like that at all. So I don't know. Maybe there was some of that to it. I'm not sure. What wrestler would I want to hit the gym with? I've never really thought about that, to be honest. It's easy to say Big E because he was a power lifter. He actually beat Blaine Sumner at one of the USAPL Raw Nationals. So that's pretty cool. I think he would be fun to hit the gym with. Of course, Rick Buggs, he's not in WWE anymore, but that would be a wild time to hit the gym with him. As far as wrestlers from back in my day, I don't know. Maybe Scott Steiner. He was fucking wild. I was a bigger fan of Scott Steiner before Big Papa Pump. Don't get me wrong. Like his entertainment value definitely went higher after he became Big Papa Pump. But his in-ring work before Big Papa Pump, especially in Japan, where he was like allowed to do all his suplexes and drivers, his moveset was ungodly, and his physique was out of this world. I think he looked better pre-Big Papa Pump than he did after he changed to Big Papa Pump. Well, that's it, guys. I appreciate y'all for joining me. Peace. And I'll leave this one up for you guys. I know I usually delete the streams, but this one will be there for playback. You're welcome.